He is speaking and signing an executive order. Let's take you to the White House.
And you know, a lot of the people behind me, they're tremendous professionals, medical professionals most, and some military, like Marcus, some great military professionals too, real hero. Today I'm pleased to announce historic reforms to dramatically accelerate access to new medical research and treatments based on psychedelic drugs. In many cases, these experimental treatments have shown life-changing potential for those suffering from severe mental illness and depression, including our cherished veterans. Our veterans have a tremendous hard time. You know, the suicide rate, we have it down a little bit, but they are having a hard time. And I got a call from a number of people, including the great Joe Rogan, and he said
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Even besides drugs, MKUltra is involved in a lot of psychological experiments. So not just LSD. Most people associate MKUltra with LSD. Gottlieb wanted to expand MKUltra besides drugs because he already had a lot of people doing drug experiments. So he wanted to see if there were psychological techniques that could be used to manipulate a person. So not just in an interrogation, but can we actually control a person's personality?
Complete guinea pig.
Complete guinea pig.
What was the result with the woman? The woman where they played the negative recordings?
There are dozens and dozens of people who that happened to. I don't know about her in particular because I don't know if she's actually named in the documents. So I don't know.
Did any of these experiments have a positive effect? Did it work?
Hardly. So that was only...
I shouldn't say positive. I should say were they effective?
No. For the most part, the people who he did his practice on came out way worse than when they went in.
Tremendous professionals, medical professionals most, and some military, like Marcus, some great military professionals too, real hero. 30 special operation veterans with traumatic brain injuries underwent, it's called Ibogaine treatment. Ibogaine. Remember the name? Is that pronounced relatively properly, would you say? I don't want to get it wrong. Ibogaine, because it's so important, and experienced an 80 to 90% reduction in symptoms of depression and anxiety within 1 month. Can I have some, please?
Ibogaine, known for producing intense, often vivid hallucinations that can be both visually and auditorily overwhelming. Ibogaine interacts with multiple neurotransmitter systems in the brain, particularly serotonin, dopamine, and opioid receptors, as well as nicotinic and NMDA receptors. Those are all of the addiction receptors. The drug companies and MKUltra architects are saying, wow, this is a future school shooting waiting to happen. It's like Prozac crossed with Xanax, ecstasy, fentanyl, meth, LSD, peyote, and a cigarette, all wrapped up into one very profitable mind control enterprise. Woohoo! Ibogaine alters perception, mood, and sensory processing. Severe hallucinations are a core part of the Ibogaine experience and are linked to its interaction with multiple brain systems. While they can be therapeutic for some, they also carry significant psychological and physical risks. Ibogaine hallucinations include visual hallucinations, geometric patterns, colors, or symbolic imagery. Auditory hallucinations, music, voices, or environmental sounds. Tactile or sensory distortions, feelings of movement, temperature changes, or body distortions. Intensity and risk. While hallucinations are a hallmark of the Ibogaine experience, they can be severe and distressing. In rare cases, they may be accompanied by psychosis-like symptoms, delusions, paranoia, severe anxiety or panic, cardiovascular effects, irregular heart rate, blood pressure changes. Because of its multiple mechanisms of action, Ibogaine can also cause serious adverse effects, especially in high doses or when combined with other substances. Safety and supervision. Ibogaine is a Schedule I controlled substance in the U.S. and is not approved for medical use. Administration is typically done in a medical setting with trained staff to monitor for respiratory depression, cardiac instability, severe psychological distress. Without proper medical supervision, the risk of life-threatening complications, including fatalities, is real. This is a train wreck waiting to happen.
Please welcome project managers at Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory, Dr. Brock Wester and Dr. Kapil Katyal.
Hello, I'm Brock Wester, and this is Kapil Katyal, and we're from the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory. And we've been working with Darpa for about a decade in the field of brain-computer interfaces on a program called Revolutionizing Prosthetics. We've been exploring how we could take signals from the brain and find patterns in those signals and use those to drive prosthetic systems. So we're focused on prosthetics, but others in the field of BCI have explored similar methods to those on the program to connect brains to communication devices, to mobility platforms, and even vehicles. And the field of BCI has been an early adopter of machine learning methods. Given that no two brains are alike and no one brain is going to operate the same day to day, the field needed adaptive methods, machine learning methods that can make sense of what the brain is saying and discriminate certain kinds of neural or brain activity over others. So the field of BCI is very multidisciplinary. As a colleague once said, it takes a village to connect a brain to a computer. And given BCI systems requirements for a neural interface, for signal processing and machine learning, software and systems engineering, and understanding of the brain, and for our field, mechanical and electrical engineering, the people that make up the teams that drive innovation and exploration in this space are going to come from a variety of different backgrounds. That's why the two of us here talking with you today. My research is in neuroscience and neuroengineering, and Kapil's research is in robotics and machine learning. Now, I mentioned that machine learning was an early adopter, BCI was an early adopter of machine learning. We've been using this practice for decades, and we anticipate that as more and more systems and technologies and applications fold in machine learning and AI, that this multidisciplinary trend will continue. So at its core, a BCI system is a machine learning system. It takes signals from a sensor and it finds patterns in those signals. And because these signals have to be processed in real time, it requires thoughtful systems design and the use of the right algorithms. So this diagram exemplifies a typical BCI system, and it starts with a neural interface. And the field uses a variety of neural interfaces. Some of those you see on the left. Some of these are invasive. They'll actually project into the brain tissue to specific recording targets, such as intracortical electrode arrays. Some of them will sit on top of the brain and record activity from a large population of neurons, such as the electrocorticography or ECOG arrays. And some will sit on the scalp. They're non-invasive, and they'll collect information from the entire brain cortex. And each of these neural interfaces is going to collect this noisy, stochastic neural activity. It's going to, as you can see in the green block, it will filter and amplify that activity. And in the blue block, it will search for patterns, extract relevant features, and apply a variety of machine learning approaches to translate those data into some useful signal to drive a device or a system. Now, there have been a variety of machine learning methods applied in the field, some of them discriminate, some of them generative, such as linear discrete analysis, support vector machines, deep neural nets, Kalman filters, Wiener kernels, and now reinforcement learning. But the signal processing approach is going to be driven typically by the neural interface. Each one is going to acquire a different looking signal, and each one is going to be useful in different ways. And Darpa programming has explored each of these neural interfaces in different ways. So to help illustrate how BCI has utilized and driven machine learning and artificial intelligence, we're going to describe a variety of systems and fit them into three paradigms. The first paradigm is a typical traditional BCI system that uses machine learning for neural decoding of specific direct functions. And the second paradigm is connecting BCI systems to intelligent systems that have some measure of autonomy that can take simple, easily trained BCI signals and use those to direct an intelligent system through some complex task. And in the third paradigm, we talk about the fusion of AI and BCI into more of a learning framework that can better generalize, and such a system that knows how to control one object will know how to interact with a similar object, a different object.
For yourself, you must learn how to reprogram.
So we'll step through each of these paradigms. We'll start with the first. Darpa has been investing in advancing BCI capabilities since the 1970s, starting with its biocybernetics program. And this and other early Darpa programs have focused on unlocking the potential of BCI to control devices, encode memories, understand visual signal processing, and have developed some of the foundational capabilities that enables research for today in this space.
A new change to military registration could impact millions of men across the country, including those living right here at home.
Under a new federal law, eligible men will soon be automatically enrolled into the Selective Service System.
Throughout human history, as our species has faced the frightening, terrorizing fact that we do not know who we are or where we're going in this ocean of chaos, it has been the authorities, the political, the religious, the educational authorities who attempted to comfort us by giving us order, rule, regulations, forming in our minds their view of reality. To think for yourself, you must question authority and learn how to put yourself in a state of vulnerable, open-mindedness, chaotic, confused vulnerability to inform yourself. Think for yourself. Question authority. Operate for yourself. Question authority.